Good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. I'm just driving, I'm almost home, but I wanted to start this video because I want to talk about the real way to manifest something, the real way to manifest. You know, everybody says, like, if you're unhappy, then you're repeating and you're doing manifestations like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. If you're sick, you're healthy, you're healthy. But how do we truly go from unhappy to happy, right? From unworthy to worthy. From anxious to peaceful, right? From angry to, what's the opposite of angry? Just joyful. How do we go from someone who's sick to someone who's healthy? And so this is what I want to truly, there's a lot in between there. So let's take unhappy to happy, okay? So if you're sad and you're unhappy and you want to go to happy, there's a whole bunch of middle piece, like the middle piece that has to happen. And so it's not just a matter of changing your mind by telling yourself you're happy or going to the end result and just expecting that middle part to fill in. There's actually like something in the middle that you have to do. And so it's usually taking an action and having an experience. And that experience ultimately leads us to feeling happy. So it's changing really the pattern that's in between unhappy to happy. So you're just right now, you're in a pattern and it keeps you from unhappy to unhappy, to unhappy, to unhappy. Something has to happen, right? And it's not just as easy as changing our mind. We have to actually do something different. So we have to take an action, have a new experience, take a new action that leads to a new experience, that leads to a new emotion and a new feeling. And that new emotion and that new feeling, that leads us to actually feel happy. But it's about making the right choice and making the right action in order to do that. So if we're talking about sickness and we want to go from sickness to health, well, again, we're in a pattern, like a sick mentality. And, we're playing this over and over. It's a pattern. We're having the same experiences, which lead to the same emotion, which leads to the same feeling. But if we want to change that, there's that whole middle piece that we have to do. So when we're feeling trapped in that sick mentality, I'm sick, I'm never going to heal, this hurts, this is painful, I can't take it, I'm going to die, what if, all these feelings, that's a pattern. We need a new experience. So when we have that symptom come on or that headache come on, instead of going to our natural response, which is maybe to curl up in bed or to cry or to go tell somebody or to talk about it or to, go off and do an enema or do your pressure point healing work or whatever you're going to be doing. Because that's just leading us to the same result. So we need to first feel that feeling, become friends with it, soothe it, remind it doesn't have to stay there, and that we love it and we're not going to abandon it, and that it's time, and now we encourage it to choose something different. So then we need to take action. Like, maybe instead I'm going to go for a walk, or maybe I'm going to call a friend. Maybe I'm going to make this super healthy meal. Maybe I'm going to play with my children. Maybe I'm going to watch funny videos on YouTube. Maybe I'm going to watch a really fun, awesome movie, a sentimental movie on Netflix. Maybe I'm going to, whatever I'm going to do, play with my dog. We're going to insert something that's better than the choice we've made before. And in doing so, that leads us to have a new experience that we ultimately don't normally have. So we're changing the pattern right there. And when we have this new experience, if we really immerse ourselves in, say, going for that walk in nature or playing with our dog, maybe we can get out of that same emotion that we have. We're trying to kickstart an actual real emotion that's not forced and that's not just not real. not authentic. We're trying to create an authentic new emotion, really, and a new feeling. So if we laugh when we watch that video online, or if we feel good, joy, gratitude, anything when we're playing with our dog or our children or whatever it is that we're doing that's just creating something new, and we get a feeling that's better, that's a more elevated feeling than the sickness feeling usually gives to us, right? Then we're just changing our pattern, and that new feeling and that new emotion, maybe it's just marginally better, right? If we just do something marginally better, if we just make a new choice that gives us an experience that's just marginally better. But if we're making choices continually that's taking it and making it a lot better, right? We're giving ourselves a lot better of an experience. So it's not that we're ignoring the pain or we're ignoring the symptoms or we're ignoring our illness, or we're not doing that. We're choosing a new event in our life, something new that we can do, a new pattern, a new thing to focus on. And if it's a lot better than the previous choice that we would have made if we were in our pattern, we start to feel better. We get the feeling of some joy, some happiness, some peace, some calm, some interest, right? Some whatever it is that you would now start to feel instead of excruciating suffering. And this is training our brain. And now we get that feeling. And from the feeling, we've elevated our feeling, we've elevated our emotion, and that's how we truly go from unhappy to happy. We need that experience in between. We can't just say, okay, I want to repeat, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, over and over to ourselves and somehow manifest it. We manifest it through our experiences. So if we give ourselves better experiences, better things to focus on, better patterns to go to, better things, thoughts to think, better things to do, actions to take, we organically and authentically upgrade our feelings and our emotions. And when we can go from unhappy to happy through our experience, that leads to a more better and positive and truly happy emotion, that's when we manifest happiness in our life, right? That's when we change our pattern from unhappy to happy. And that's when we can become truly, we can go from unhappy to happy. So remember, when you're doing this work and changing your brain, when you're trying to reprogram your subconscious mind, retrain your brain, when we're trying to manifest something in our life like health and healing, and going from a state of chronic illness to a state of chronic health, we need those experiences in the middle. And that takes willpower and work to say, no, I'm not going to sit in my room and cry like I normally would. I'm not going to run and talk about this like I normally would, or go to my body work that doesn't make a difference anyways like I normally would. I'm going to choose a new and better pattern, not because I'm forcing myself, but because I truly want to break this. And when we immerse ourselves in that new experience and we allow ourselves to feel the new elevated feeling that comes along with feeling better than we would have if we stayed stuck in our old pattern, we can incrementally, or even faster, like we don't just have to do this incrementally. We can choose something that's amazing. Have you ever had that experience where you're in chronic pain, but you have to do something and you have to go out and be with friends, or you have to go out and do this thing, and when you're actually in the moment, when you're doing the thing, you actually end up feeling better, and you're like, hey, my symptoms disappeared. That's weird. Was it something I ate? Was it because I was outside? No, it's because you are having an experience that is better than the one that you would have had if you just stayed home and moped around, or whatever it is that you do when you have, or beat yourself up, or say terrible things to yourself, or whatever it is that you normally do when these symptoms arise. If you instead do something better that leads to a better feeling and a better emotion, you're going to elevate your state. And when you elevate the state, you've now taken proven concrete steps to get into a higher state, and that higher state makes your biology follow it. So now we're actually stepping into our future because we experienced this thing, and we're creating literally what we want by feeling an elevated feeling. So I hope this has given you a little bit of insight into how it really works and what it takes to really change and make the changes. And you have to be relentless and ruthless to say, no, I'm in a pattern. I'm stuck. This isn't the feeling I want to be doing. This state isn't good for me, and changing it. And that action to changing it is the hardest part. But when you just keep doing that over and over, even if it doesn't work this time or that time, it will eventually work if you immerse yourself and allow yourself to start to feel better feelings, better emotions. Your state will change, and when your state is elevated, your biology will eventually change. So I hope this video has been helpful in explaining it, and I'll see you on the next one.